Could you please introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, I'm Lieutenant Tammy Sternard, and I'm running for the Democratic candidate for Door County Sheriff.
What would be your top 3 priorities as sheriff?
I feel most importantly the first thing for the sheriff is to do whatever they need to do to ensure we maintain a safe community. I've spent a lot of time traveling through Door County over the last 9 months, and people want the same thing, and that's a safe community. So I think our department does a really good job. The men and women that are out there every day working in the community, they have great connections, and they want the same thing, a safe community. On top of that, fiscal responsibility, I think, is a big part of the sheriff's responsibilities. Budgets keep getting tighter and tighter. I've got numerous years of budget experience within the department, and as we progress and we move forward with the department, there is issues where we're going to have to make some cuts, and I think the experience that I bring managing the budget is going to help us be able to do that, but yet still maintain the high levels of service that we do in the community today. Also, I think a safe environment for our kids. So I'm a firm believer in getting in our schools and looking at what type of programs we can do to ensure that our kids are safe in their schools and try to do more youth outreach for those individuals.
As sheriff, how will you foster an environment that ensures fair treatment of all people that are served by the Door County Sheriff's Department?
Looking at the office of the sheriff, I envision managing that very similar to what I do today with my correctional division. I think, it's not law enforcement's job to judge people. I think it's our job to make sure that we do the best we can to take care of the issues that are within our community and be respectful to people, treat people the way you'd want to be treated. That's what I instill in my officers today that I supervise, and that would be what I would try to instill in all the officers. And we do. We have a great department. I think our officers do a good job treating people fair and consistent.
What steps will you take to increase diversity in the workforce?
I think since starting at the department, we've added some diversity. When I first started, I think I was one of 2 females, and now I'm proud to say that the number is higher. I think as we move forward, trying to get out and just do a little more recruitment, get to the technical schools where there's a different type of population, and try to encourage other people that might not know so much about Door County, just educate them on, hey, it really is a great place, and we do have a lot to offer. I think a diverse workforce is great, so I would work hard, I think, to just try to better recruit candidates to come and apply in Door County.
What is your position on granting non-citizens access to identity cards and or driver's license?
Obviously, that's a hot topic throughout the nation. I know some states do it. I feel from a law enforcement perspective, it certainly would help us do our job a little more effectively to more quickly identify people. As far as the sheriff changing that, the sheriff really doesn't have the authority to change that, but I do think looking at that as a whole in the state of Wisconsin, maybe even nationwide, is something that we're going to see down the road, and I'm certainly not opposed to it.
A few weeks ago, Madison Police Chief Mike Koval endorsed the legalization of marijuana, saying the drug should be regulated and taxed, with revenues used to fund treatment programs for harder drugs. What are your feelings on his statement?
I'm familiar with this statement. I read an article that he had put out. As a sheriff, you really don't have room to have your personal opinion on something. I think when it's the law, you do have to enforce it. That being said, I think some of the states are now paving the way to maybe making some changes to that. And if it's the will of the people of Wisconsin to change that, then so be it. And as a law enforcement officer, we need to follow the law. So I don't, like I said, you can't really bring personal beliefs, I don't believe, into that, because everybody's going to have a different belief on every law. So as of right now, like I said, you would have to enforce the law. I do like the aspect of the programming. I think certainly the issues of drugs and the more harder drugs are something that we as a community, as a state, as a nation, need to take a look at and try to do better. So,
How can your policies keep Door County youth from growing up in the judicial system?
Again, like I said earlier, I think school resources here is the key. Getting out, reaching out to the youth. Some of the kids that I know, I have children that are in that 10, 12 years of age. I think, now is the time to impress upon them what we want from them, what we expect from them, and just being a positive influence to the children today. Everybody comes from a different background, and it's not for one to judge, but I think as adults and in community and law enforcement, we need to work together to provide programming that helps these kids make the right decision, whether that's in the issue of bullying, the issue of use of drugs and alcohol, the effects that could have on their life. Again, I think just working together, getting the kids more used to law enforcement in a friendly fashion versus always confrontational, I think is extremely important.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.